Welcome back, fellow deep divers, ready to plunge headfirst into another fantastical realm.
I am, always.
Today, we're venturing into the world of Sarah J. Maas's A Court of Thorns and Roses. And to kick things off, we're diving deep into, well, the deep end. The very opening scene, ripped straight from the audiobook.
Ooh, starting strong.
Yeah, buckle up, because Maas wastes no time setting the mood. We're going from survival to beauty to a cliffhanger ending that'll leave you desperate for more.
I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
Well, right from the get-go, Maas throws us right into this, super harsh winter world. And we experience it all through the eyes of our protagonist.
And how would you describe this world?
It's not just cold, it's bleak. Like bone-chillingly bleak. Where survival feels like, a daily struggle.
So we're starting with high stakes.
Oh, absolutely. Our protagonist is out hunting, and not for sport. She's starving. Literally starving. The text even says that she could count a good number of her ribs.
Wow, that paints a very stark picture.
Right. But what I found really interesting is how this physical hunger, like her empty stomach, is kind of mirrored by a deeper hunger, more of an emotional one.
Ooh, I see where you're going with this.
Well, Maas throws in these fleeting memories of the protagonist's past. It's filled with beauty and art and things that now feel like a distant dream to her.
So there's a sense of loss, almost.
Totally. And it makes you wonder, what happened? What happened to this world to make it this way? What led to this harsh reality?
Yeah, it's a great way to hook the reader.
Right, what were these stolen hours that the protagonist remembers that were hungry, empty, and sometimes cruel, but never lovely?
That's such an evocative line. It really piques your curiosity.
Right, it's like a little breadcrumb trail, leading us towards a much darker story.
Exactly. And speaking of breadcrumbs, Maas takes us on this journey, even as she describes the setting. Even though this world is harsh, it's also stunningly beautiful. So even in this desolate winter landscape, Maas finds a way to infuse it with beauty.
Oh, for sure. The protagonist is surrounded by sparkling spindrifts, and the snow is described as being fresh and clean against the brown and gray of the world.
Right, it's a juxtaposition, right?
Yes, it's that reminder that beauty can exist even in the darkest of times. It almost highlights that innate human need for beauty, even when faced with hardship.
Exactly, and this beauty, I think, makes the protagonist's situation even more poignant.
I agree. It's like a tiny ember of hope, flickering in the darkness. A reminder of what she's lost, but also what she's still fighting for.
Absolutely. And then she sees it, a deer.
And not just any deer, but like a potential lifeline.
Exactly, food for a whole week.
Whole week.
But Maas doesn't just tell us this. She makes us feel the weight of it. We get vivid details, descriptions of the stews and pies the protagonist dreams of making.
Even the thought of new boots and a cloak to keep her warm.
Exactly. You're right there with her, feeling that surge of hope, the relief that's so close she can almost taste it. And then, bam, everything changes.
Golden eyes.
Golden eyes appear, and suddenly the whole forest holds its breath, like everything stops. The wind dies down, the snow seems to pause in midair.
It's a masterclass in building tension.
It is. You go from this really detailed, almost lyrical description to these short, sharp sentences.
Like the protagonist is jolted out of her daydream.
Exactly, and the atmosphere shifts completely. It's like the calm before a storm.
Those golden eyes are the first rumble of thunder.
And then that final line, we mortals no longer. It's the ultimate cliffhanger. Like Maas is dangling a thread, and it's pulling us deeper into this world.
Into a world where the lines between reality and something otherworldly start to blur.
Absolutely. And I have to say, it's a brilliant way to leave us wanting more.
Talk about a cliffhanger. This scene was just a taste, a tiny morsel of what awaits in A Court of Thorns and Roses. And trust me, it's a feast for the senses and the imagination.
Couldn't agree more.
So if you want to experience the full story, the whole delicious feast, you know what to do. Head down to the description below. We've got a link to WC Audiobooks.
Yes.
You can purchase the book, and trust me, it's a journey you won't regret.
This opening scene alone is a masterclass in world building, character development, and, of course, suspense.
It leaves you with so many questions.
More questions than answers.
And this burning desire to discover what happens next.
Yeah. What do you think those golden eyes mean, listeners?
Let us know your theories. We're dying to hear them. Until next time, happy reading.
And happy listening.